Let's start with the legal claims in the case. I mean, technically speaking, what is it that Elon Musk is suing for, and based on what, and hoping to achieve what?
Yeah, so at this point, there are only two claims that remain. A lot of others have been dropped or dismissed. And so the first is that Altman and OpenAI violated a promise to Musk that OpenAI would have a permanent charitable mission to develop safe, open source AI technology for the public good and not private gain. And this was violated when, in 2019, OpenAI created a for-profit affiliate. So that's the first allegation. And the second is that, and it's related, is that Altman and OpenAI received undeserved benefits, such as Musk's investment, because of these broken promises.
Professor Lund, does it matter that this is a jury trial?
You know, this is a jury trial, yes, but the jury in this case is only being used as an advisory to Judge Gonzalez-Rogers. So she actually doesn't have to follow their opinion, although it will certainly give her some cover if she does. And so today, we're starting jury selection, and it's a really interesting process. And the law here, doesn't require that jurors have never heard of Elon Musk or they've never used OpenAI. But instead, the goal will be to find people that can put aside what they've heard, what they know about these people, and to decide the case only on the evidence presented in court. But, these are two very, infamous figures, right? Musk and Altman. Musk has been aggressively moving companies to Texas and out of California. Has been leaning hard into MAGA politics. Altman isn't as well known, but he's had some recent episodes suggesting he faces some real personality challenges as well. The recent Molotov cocktail attack on his house. And, I think in general, there's just growing unease and skepticism about whether AI is going to visit its dystopian future on all of us. Unemployment, data center, environmental effects, power consumption. So, I think here it's going to be the jury's views may be colored on these specific views on each of these individuals and also AI generally.
Well, Mr. Altman is well known to regular viewers of this program, but just in case, he's the CEO of OpenAI, which is regarded probably as the most consequential AI lab at this moment in time. But therein lies an interesting point. Elon Musk is also at the helm of xAI, which is now owned by SpaceX, a company of which he is CEO. Does that matter going into the case that he leads a rival company to the one that Sam Altman now leads?
Absolutely. I mean, it's very easy to view this suit cynically because Musk is operating his own rival AI company, and he's tried to partner with or take over OpenAI multiple times. He's been spurned. So I think absolutely there's a reason to be suspect about his motives here, and even the judge in this case has called this out, in some pre-trial motions. You can, in fact, see in his IPO letter for SpaceX that they disclose that Grok is going to benefit if this suit is successful. So I think at the end of the day, the judge and jury are going to have to determine whether Musk is disingenuously using this lawsuit to kneecap OpenAI and create more room for his own for-profit initiatives to thrive with less competition. And this is essentially what OpenAI is pointing to in this litigation.
Dorothy, we just have 2 minutes left here, but the central issue is the non-profit origin of OpenAI. And within the world of AI, of course, we have public benefit corporation structures as well. Is there a chance that this case sets precedent for the legal structure of companies that operate that way?
Yeah, so, I mean, there's a lot to say about this structure. One of the arguments that Musk has made is that, if we're not careful here, this is going to cause other nonprofits to follow the same path as OpenAI. They're going to, make promises and then fall behind on them. And we're going to see other nonprofits kind of going this way. I think this is ultimately a weak argument. For one, OpenAI is not your typical startup, right? This is a very unique company in business. It's had a very unique sort of governance history. Each of its iterations has looked really different in interesting ways that we could spend far more than 2 minutes on. The other thing I think is important to note in this conversation is that something that's true of corporate law is that it's enabling. It allows businesses to change their forms based on their unique business needs, right? And so, over time, the argument that OpenAI has made is that we started off as a nonprofit, but this is a really capital-intensive business, and we just needed more money in order to continue to pursue our mission and develop this technology. And this is why we made these changes. And this is all sort of consistent with our initial goals and the promises that were made up front. And so, again, I think that this is something you would expect from organizations, that they change their business form over time, and you wouldn't necessarily want to deter that either.